Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's workout is a Pilates strength combo. It's gonna focus on upper body for our strength portion. So let me tell you what we need for today's workout. One squishy Pilates ball required. We definitely need this throughout the movement that we'll do. You also need one medium dumbbell. I'm gonna recommend anything from 8 to 15 pounds. We'll use it for some bicep curling and then we'll use it for some shoulder presses. Those are the only two things that you absolutely need. I will add on an optional prop, which is to make things a little bit more challenging, a little bit more fun, some ankle weights, which you're actually gonna use on your wrists. So grab your props, find your mat, and let's get started. Let's start with a nice warm up. Meet me in a quadruped position. Your knees are underneath your hips. We do have a lot of wrist action today. So let's start off with just a nice little stretch for our wrists. I want you to move your fingertips so that they point towards your thighs, and let's just find some nice circles of our body here. As we're circling, I want you to think about pulling your abdominals in, so beginning to activate through your core. And then let's find some circles in the reverse. If at any point, especially when we're in kind of that planking position, you can go knuckles down. That tends to be a little bit more comfortable for some people. Reverse the direction if you haven't already. Finding a nice stretch through our forearms. And then let's flip our palms forward or our fingertips forward, same thing. Finding some nice little circles here. From here, let's find our wrists right back underneath our shoulders. Let's find a nice rotational twist. I want you to reach your hand up to the sky. We're gonna thread it under. We're gonna keep this dynamic. So I want you to pause at the bottom and then return right back to the top. Finding that nice stretch through our lats here. Maybe give your wrists a little roll as we do it. Opening up, finding that nice rotation. And back. Let's plant that right hand down. Let's switch sides. Same thing on our left. We reach it up. You find that deep rotational twist. Sending your hips down and back a bit. Adding in that wrist roll if that feels comfortable. Finding that exhale as we come down. Inhale as we reset. And then we're going to bring our hands back down to the mat. From here, I want you to activate through your core. We're gonna just let our hips lower and then pull ourselves back to a tabletop. Exhale, hips come forward. Inhale, reset, pull back. Exhale, and inhale. We'll pause on the next one, pausing forward. Last one, let's pause here. Let's curl our toes under. Let's pop those knees up and tap your knees back down. Up and down. For 5, last 4, last 3, last 2, and 1. Let's push everything back, find weight into your hands, find a downward dog. Let's pedal our heels up and down. We're gonna come down to our belly on the next one. Let's come down to a prone position. We have our arm series, spending a bit of time in prone. So I want you to just start off with a nice little swan stretch here. So I want you to have your hands right by the frame of your body, palms facing or fingertips facing forward, palms down to the ground. Find a lift to your chest here. And then I want you to lower yourself down. Let's exhale, find a lift. So I want you to establish a really good foundation through some of the extension work that we're gonna do with our back today. So for our extension work, I want you to make sure that you're not dumping your head back, you're not pulling your chin to the sky, but rather you're lifting from mid-back, almost where your bra strap is. Just finding those little lifts. And then once you feel good here, maybe you can reach it out, find a little bit more extension. Pulling your belly up and away, and lowering yourself down. Finding that nice little stretch through your abdomen, and lowering it down, making sure you're not compressing into your low back as we move. Last 2. And 1, I want you to hold a lift of your chest. Reach your hands out. Let's find some circles. Out wide into a W shape. Bring those arms in. Reach your fingertips forward. Find that W and reach. While holding and maintaining that lift to your chest. And reverse, other way around. Like you're swimming through water here. Still sinking that breath, still thinking about whatever our abdomen is doing. Staying up and away from our mat and lowering ourselves down. Taking a moment here, relaxing it out, and let's grab our props. So I'm going to use my wrist weights today. So I'm gonna put them on now. and you'll just put them right on your wrists. All right, I have my wrist weights on. Let's do a little bit more to wake up our core. So I want you seated down on your sit bones. You're gonna find a nice round into your spine, half roll back. Then I want you exhale, lift through your chest, flatten that back. Tuck that tail under, find a really exaggerated C curve to your spine, trying to point your mid back to the back behind you, or the back of the room, wherever you are, back of the gym, back of your bedroom, wherever you're watching me. Find that nice tall spine. Find that curvature, we tuck. And then we restack. Find length. Lift. And lower. Last two. Last one. And I want you to lower yourself back. Find a balance, reaching those arms out. Let's find a pump of our arms here. Inhale and exhale, holding that tuck under, holding that lift. Maybe you can get a little lower. Last two, little 100 prep. And then if you're up for it, we're gonna go all the way up. Find full range. Let's roll ourselves all the way down to our mat now. We're gonna find a 100 wherever you are. So your knees are gonna go either to tabletop or find a full extension of those legs. We're gonna pump those arms. Let's find it, nod through our chin. We roll, lift ourselves up, find that extension. We pump our arms. Keeping your inner thighs zippered together, keeping a lift of your chest, finding that balance so your body isn't rocking, finding a vigorous pump through those arms for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll it down, take a moment here. Let's do one more set there. Nod through your chin, roll yourself up, find your lift, find an angle that you can maintain with those legs, and we pump those arms. Deep inhale and exhale. Finding a reach of our fingertips, relaxing through your traps, relaxing through your shoulders. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll it down. Take a moment here and let's move on. Okay, now that we have some of that heat built into our body, let's get into our core a little bit deeper. So you're gonna grab your Pilates ball. You're going to find your tailbone to the ball. Balancing onto that ball, your arms go long by your side. We're gonna start here in a tabletop position with our knees, so meaning your knees are right on top of your hips. You immediately should feel that ab activation. If your knees are too close in, it's not gonna feel like much of a challenge. So if you can, you try to shift your knees forward, you hold that position. Balancing on that ball, I want your right toes to tap down. Exhale, lift. Left toes tap down. And lift. Finding that switch with control. Use your palms rested on your mat to help support you here. We'll do 3 more. Getting as close to your mat as you can, flexing as you bring your knees in. Last one. Tap it down and back, and knees come in. Let's point those legs or point those toes to the sky. Find length through our legs. We're gonna let our right leg lower, and we switch, left leg lowers. Switch. Maybe you can lift your chest up a little while you balance to make this feel a little bit more challenging. Breathing through, keeping energy through your legs. Let's find 5. Last 4, reaching long. Last 3, 2, and 1. Take a moment, bring it in. We're gonna find a diamond shape with our feet. Diamond shape with our feet. Balls of our feet meet together, heels of our feet meet together, knees are nice and wide. We're gonna let our toes go down together while our knees stay wide. Big exhale, you bring those knees back up. Inhale, let it lower. Exhale, bring it back up. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax it in, bring it in, plant your feet down. Let's take that ball out, but don't let it go too far. So we just focused a lot on our lower abdominals. Let's get back into that curling motion like we were doing with our 100. So I want you to take the ball. You are going to rest your right Achilles right on top of the ball. We're gonna lie ourselves all the way down. We're gonna find our hands behind our head. We'll reach forward, bringing our palms in towards our thighs. As our hands come low, we nod through our chin, we lift. We're gonna lift our left leg as high as we can, and then we're gonna lower it back down with control. Reaching our fingertips back, finding length through your body here. Exhale, nod through your chin. Lift that leg up, and lower it back down. Finding that exhale, really focus on lifting, slow and control. Give me that nice point to your toes as you lift before you lower it down. 5 more here. We reach back. These wrist weights really working against us to give us that extra challenge. Using control on the way down. Think about reaching for your ankle, lifting your chest, relaxing those shoulders down. Last 2. Last 1. We lift it up as high as we can and relax it down. Take a moment to reset here. Now you guys know me, you know some layers are coming up next. So similar movement pattern, we're thinking about that lift, except this time we're gonna get our right leg involved. What I want you to do is as you curl, you're gonna pull that ball underneath your right foot, and then as you lower, you extend it back out. We're still finding that lift, but we're gonna hold the left leg in more of a hover versus worrying about bringing it all the way up. Unless you want an extra challenge, you can try to fold yourself in half, come all the way up, but I'm gonna suggest you just hold and maintain a nice hover as you drag. So let's find a strong position here. Find that neutral spine to move from, or wherever your spine feels most supported. Reach your hands back behind your head. Exhale, curl yourself up. Drag that ball in. Get up nice and high with this one of your chest before we lower it back down, rolling that ball back out. And we repeat. So now you know the movement. Now focus on your range of motion. Focus on how slow you can move here, especially on the way down. I want you to really exaggerate that movement on the way down and never losing the connection with our breath, of course. Reaching towards our right foot as it comes in, finding that nice long extension of that leg as it goes out. Slow drag forward and back. We have 4 more. Last 2. Nice lift. Lower down, nice and slow. Last 1. And take a little breather. 1 more layer to go here. Whew. Abs are on fire. I don't know if you guys are feeling my pain. We're gonna add in a little rotation. So same thing we were just doing, except now you're gonna twist towards that right leg. So we're gonna drag the ball in, we're gonna curl ourselves up, we're gonna find a rotation. When you're ready, find that same prep, reaching your hands back behind your head. Left heel starts rested down, right heel elevated on your ball. We curl that ball in. As we roll, left leg can stay in that hover. Find a nice rotational twist, puff up that chest. Pause for a moment before you lower yourself back down. The good and bad part about this ab series is it is unilateral, meaning we got double duty. This is our last on this side. Then we're gonna take it back to the top, finding that same great form that we had. We'll take a little rest in between, but we're gonna go right back to the top, starting just with that simple curl. So we're almost through on this side. Really maximize the oblique engagement as you rotate, finding that stretch of your obliques before you bring it back down. 5 more here. Last 3. Last 2. Last one, best one, strong and controlled. Lift it up. And we twist before we send it back down. Behind. Woo. Take a moment here. All right, we're moving that ball to our left side. Our left Achilles will rest on top of that ball. We'll start with just that lift of our right foot. So let's find our fingertips behind our head. Find that stretch. Find the connection with your core. We find a nod through our chin. We slow and controlled reach it up. And we find a lift of that right leg. Almost like you're in that single leg teaser, getting as high as you can. But I really want you to think about rolling down as slow as you can. Finding an exhale as we lift. Keeping a nice reach to that leg, energy through that leg, meaning you have a flex to your quad, maybe a nice point to your toes if you can, and trying to get your leg and your shoulder blades to lower at the same time. Try not to let momentum take over here, especially on the way down. If you need to, give me a smaller range of motion. Maybe it's just a chest lift here and a leg lower. You don't have to curl all the way up. If you feel like you're not able to control that motion, I always want you to think about maximizing your range of motion and finding really good form wherever you can. And it's okay if your range of motion looks a little smaller than mine or the person you're next to. It's all about what you can control while keeping good form. 3 more here. Where we add in that roll. The roll's my favorite. I don't know, something about it. It just feels so fun. Last one, my secret to working out is just finding moves that I find fun and unique enough that I kind of forget that it's a challenging workout. That's my goal. That's how I program. Take a moment here if you need it. We're gonna find that same reach, that same nod, except now we have a hover of that right leg and we're curling it in. We're finding our big toe all the way to that ball at the furthest point, and then we're rolling it back out so that ball comes back towards our Achilles / our calf area. We nod and roll, dragging it in, and pushing that ball back out. Really focusing on a different type of core control as we move here. Staying light on that ball. Don't feel like you have to press it completely to the ground, but really isolating that left side as we use that left side to help us drag the ball in, using our hip flexors to bring that knee in, but also thinking about what our abdominals are doing to keep us stable as we curl. 2 more. Actually, 3 more. Sorry, I cheated this one. Last 2 now. Last one, best one. Find a big curl, find a big nod. Roll it in. Pausing at the top, lowering it down. We made it through. We're almost done this ab series. Take a moment, catch your breath. We find that rotational twist on this next one. So we're gonna curl to lift ourselves up, and we find a twist towards our left side. Last set, let's stay strong. Reaching those arms back, let's find that rotational twist. Keep that really good form that we've had throughout this entire series. Rotate to twist. Really think about twisting that right shoulder towards the left side of the room. That right leg can stay in a hover. I want you to focus on the rotation and your breath. Exhaling deeply as you reach the top of that motion. Inhaling as we slowly lower it down. Last 5 here. Keep it slow, keep it controlled. Don't forget about controlling the ball in too, keeping some pressure through that leg while we hover. We have 3. 2, avoid that momentum. Keeping it slow. Last one. I want this one really slow. I want that twist really deep. Nod through your chin. Roll up as slow as you can. Drag that ball in. Twist. Ooh, I lost my ball. Twist. And roll it back down. Whew. Abs are on fire. It's crazy how just ab work can get me so sweaty and so breathless. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna do a little bit of Pilates arms with our ball, and then we'll move on to the strength portion. Still using our Pilates ball, I want you to meet me in a quadruped position. We're gonna find a wide push-up with the ball underneath our right hand. Options here, keep your knees underneath your hips, or if you want more of a challenge, you can find a full modified push-up position. Or if you're feeling extra crazy, you can go full push-up. I'm gonna keep it in a tabletop, so that's your one option here. I want you to think about loading the weight into your upper body. We're gonna bend our elbows wide, and we're gonna push to bring ourselves back up. So if you're in that modified position, your hips are gonna go low as you push into that ball. Lowering your chest down, finding that engagement through your chest here. Last one. We're gonna spin our elbows back now, same thing, but I want you to keep your arms in tight. We're gonna focus a little bit more on your triceps for this one. So I want you to push into that ball, but I want your elbows to stay really close to the frame of your body, and then you're gonna push yourself back. Still thinking about what our abs are doing, so still drawing that navel up and away. I want you to press into that ball, find that full extension. Last 3, 2. Last one, we're gonna hold it low. On this next one, let's hold. Find a hover, roll that ball forward, kind of like we did with our leg. Bring it back all the way up. So you're starting with a bent left elbow. You're reaching that ball out. You're pulling the ball in, then you press through both of your hands, you come all the way up nice and high. Find that bend to your elbow. Roll the ball forward, pull it back, bring yourself up. Last 4. Find your little hover, pull it in and back. Still keeping your elbows pointed back behind you so you feel those triceps. Last one. And bring it in. With that ball in hand, I want you to flip over to your belly and meet me in a prone position. You're gonna reach your arms out long, finding pressure onto the ball with both of your hands. Your gaze is down. I want you to start from your lower body. Think about what your lower body will do through this motion. We're gonna activate our quads, so lift our knees up slightly. We're gonna activate our glutes so that our feet just hover above our mat. So we find some glute activation. From here, keeping your lower body where it is, I want you to find engagement of your core. We're gonna exhale, find a lift of our chest, rolling that ball back towards us. And then I want you to find a lower. Inhaling as you lower. Exhaling as you find that lift. Inhaling as you lower it down. Now we're focused on our posterior chain of our upper body. So thinking about our upper back, those muscles around our shoulder blades, especially as we press into this ball. Again, making sure we're never cramming into our low back by dumping our head back, by really aggressively folding our ribs forward. I want you to think about that lift right around where the back of your sports bra hits. We're lifting from that part of your back, finding that nice lift to accommodate those arms coming slightly underneath your shoulders before you roll it back. And once you get the hang of that motion, maybe you can get a nicer, deeper range of motion with that extension. Try not to knock your head back too far here. It's a lift, a slow glide up before we bring it down. 4 more. Don't forget about syncing everything with your breathing. Last 2. Last 1. And we bring it down. Now I want you to hold the ball with your elbows nice and wide. We're gonna find more of a lift with your lower body. So we're gonna activate through our glutes to help us lift our legs up. Our arms are out wide, our head starts down. Let's find that lift and lower. Think about squeezing through your glutes. Inhaling on the way down, exhaling as we lift. Never cramming into our back, keeping our elbows nice and wide. Last 4. We're gonna add on here in 3. Last 2. Last 1. And bring it down. On the next one, I want you to find a very similar movement pattern with that lift, but now we're gonna find a ball pass. So you're gonna reach back behind, pass that ball, bring it back forward, lower yourself down. So we're finding some nice shoulder mobility here. So let's do it together. Bring it all together here. We find wide elbow lift. You reach, passing the ball to your left hand, you reach your right hand back behind, finding that forward stretch before we reach everything back and lower it back down. We lift. Left hand goes back, right hand meets your left. Chest opens up a little more. Bring everything in, wide elbows come back down. Finding that lift and lower. 2 more in this direction. We'll switch directions of our passes. Really trying to lift those knees, lift your thighs off that mat as much as you can. And 1 more. And let's reverse. So now your right hand goes back with the ball. Your left meets. You find an opening of your collarbone and you lower yourself down. Finding that pass, really reaching your arms out long, trying to keep your arms as wide as you can. Finding nice shoulder mobility. Ooh, my shoulder just cracked. This is why it's important to do these different types of mobility work through your Pilates practice. Last one. And rest it down. Take a moment. Great work. Let's come back up to that quadruped position. We're going to finish with those push-ups and those rollouts on our left side. Balls underneath your left hand, knees are under hips unless you took that full modified push-up position or that full push-up position. Elbows start wide. Let's begin to push up. We push off that ball, pressing into the heels of our hands, straightening those arms back out. Three more. Exhaling as you press. And 1. Now we spin our elbows back. We focus on our triceps. Triceps are coming back behind us. Find that tricep bend. Make sure your hands are nice and parallel. Again, you can stay in that tabletop position. Just make sure you're shifting all the weight that you can into the heels of your hands. So taking as much weight out of your knees as you can. Getting as low as you can with those elbows. My arms are shaking. This one really adds up with that stability challenge of the ball. Last one. We're going to find our hover. We find our hover. We roll that ball forward and back. Let's do it together here. Find your hover. Reach the ball forward. Ball comes all the way towards your forearm. As you pull the ball back, that's when you press into the heel of your right hand. You come back up straight. You bend your elbows back. You roll the reach forward. Pull it back in. Finding a nice stretch of your lats almost here. Last 3. Exhale to help you draw everything back in. 2. Last 1, see if you can make this your lowest bend to that right side. Keep that elbow back. Really reach to pull it back. And bring it in. We've made it to the final push, the strength portion of today's workout. We're gonna focus on some repetition to really fatigue our muscles during this segment. So there's 3 moves that we're gonna do on each side and we will go through it 3 times. I want you to pick a weight that feels challenging, a medium weight, anything from 8 to 15 pounds or even heavier. We're gonna do some biceps and some shoulder presses. Keep those wrist weights on. It's a great way to add in a little extra weight, but if at any point it feels too heavy, you absolutely can take them off. So the first thing I want you to do is grab your weight. You're gonna meet me in a single kneeling position. So I want your left foot forward, your right knee down. We're gonna find a bicep curl. From here, I want you to let gravity pull that weight all the way down to the ground. Keep length to your spine. You can rest your left hand wherever comfortable. Find a full range bicep curl to bring that palm in towards your shoulder and then lower yourself down. Find that curl and lower. So make sure you're not swinging your chest forward and back. I really love to do arm upper body movements without our legs. So you can't really push through your lower body. You really gotta isolate and focus. So that's why I like to do a lot of our upper body work kneeling, single leg or double leg, just so that we can really focus on our upper body. Last 2. Last one, I want you to hold this one in, find 90 degrees with your elbow. So your elbow's right in line with your shoulder, right in front of your face. You're gonna give me a turn and a press. Bring that elbow back down in line with your shoulder, bring it back in front of your face. Out wide and press. Back out wide and press. 4 more. out wide, and press. You got it. This is when it starts to burn. Last two. Last one. Find that tall press and bring it in. Let's catch that weight with both hands now, a little bit more for our shoulders. I want you to hold the weight at your right hip. We're gonna find a wood chopper, a little bit for our shoulders and also a little bit of challenge for our obliques as well. So we find that weight, I want you to find a powerful twist. And I want you to slowly resist that weight on the way down. Powerful twist. And since we're using both arms, if this feels too light, grab something a little heavier. You can have that extra weight as an option, but I want you to start to feel that fatigue as we get towards the end. Halfway through. Last two. Notice how I'm rotating my body and slowly coming back to my hip. All right, shake it out. Let's switch sides. We can go straight into the other side because that arm had a moment to rest the entire opposite side series. So we're gonna bring that right foot forward. We're gonna find our bicep curl. Nice tall spine. From here, we let gravity pull that weight down towards the ground. We keep length through our spine. We find that curl as we lift and lower it back. Last three, two, one. We're gonna hold, find that 90. Hold here, press it out, and bring it right back in front of your face. Find that reach up to the ceiling and bring it back. 3, 2, and 1. Catch that weight down. Let's find that rotational twist. We're twisting slightly towards the weight outside of our left thigh. We find a powerful twist. Slow resist to bring it back down. Use your obliques to help you find that twist and to help you resist that weight as we come down. Last 3 for 2. See if you can make these last 2 really slow on the way down. 1. And bring it down. Let's take a little rest. Let's grab a sip of water. Let's go back into that right side with our bicep curl. Gravity pulls that weight down. Dumbbells in your right hand. We find that curl and resist as we go down. Making sure you're not swinging with your chest to help you power that weight up. I want you to find a controlled contraction of your bicep. Last 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. Hold here, find a lift, find 90. Lengthen through your spine, open out wide, press up to the ceiling. Elbow comes out wide, bring it right back in front of your face. Open out, find that half goalpost position, press it up, find that reach. Extending that hand and that weight all the way up. Not forgetting about the open close. For a little bit more action for that shoulder. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. And bring it in. Let's catch that weight to the side. We grab with both hands. If you switch for a heavier weight, you go for that other weight here. And we find our wood choppers. Exhale, rotate. Slow. Think 1, 2, 3. Maybe even 4 on the way down. Twist, slow, 3 to 4 second count to get you down. So it's a different tempo. 1 second up, 4 seconds down. Exhale when you reach the top with that power. Getting that slight rotation as we close it off before we twist across that left knee. Last 3, 2, last 1, and shake it out. Switching knees, right foot comes forward, left knee down. We're back to our bicep curl. We're almost through with today's workout. You guys are doing awesome. We got this side. We're gonna do 1 more set of each, and we are done. So stick with it. Really find that challenge. If you have an option for a heavier weight, this next set is your chance to really push it. Last one, we hold, find 90. Out wide to the side, press, bring it in. Out wide, press, bring it in. Make sure when you're pressing, You're just outside of your shoulder. Finding that full extension, tracking that elbow right back down, bringing it in. Last 3. We got those wood choppers up next. 2. And 1. Bring it in. Grab that weight. Keep this staggered position with your legs. Think about aiming for the outside of that right knee as we find that powerful up 1, down slow. Up for 1, down for 4, 3, 2, 1, up for 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Use your trunk and your obliques for that power, for that rotation. Feeling that flex to your core. Remember that core oblique series we did in the beginning. Think about that twist. We're using it now. You got this. Stick with it. Give me 2 more. You're so strong. We got to rest on the other side. And break. Take a moment. Grab some water. Little rest, reset. Shake out those arms. And remember, if you did not feel like that last set was super challenging, go a little bit heavier. I am sprinkling in a heavier weight for the biceps on this next series and maybe the wood choppers. So don't be shy, grab that heavier weight. I want these last few reps to feel really challenging. That is how we're gonna build strength. That is how we're gonna build muscle. And that is all what this strength portion is about. So let's get started. Grab your weight if you're switching it up. Let's find that left foot forward and let's find our bicep curl. Last time you'll see these bicep curls on the right side. Keep all of that great form that you've had this whole routine. Avoid any momentum. Use the contraction of that bicep, helping you pull that weight up. Yeah, I'm really happy with this choice. I feel like this is the right amount of challenge that I needed for these biceps. Last 2. And 1. Bit too much for shoulder press, so I'm gonna switch my weights, but you can stay with the weight that you have. We come in front, we go out wide, we press. Find that rotation through your shoulder. Find that strong extension through that elbow. Straight line up, bicep comes towards your ears. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. And bring it down. Wood choppers up next. I'm going back heavy for my wood choppers. We find our twist. And we slowly resist. Ooh, these are brutal. 2. Harder to control it when it's heavier. And 1. Shake it out, switch sides. Last set here. Finishing off this left side. I'm going for my heavier weight like I did, so if you made that switch, do the same weight on this left side. We curl to bring it up, palm to shoulder. Slow resist down. It's all about trying to defy gravity on the way down as well. So not just letting gravity pull that dumbbell down, really think about slow lift. Slow resist with that extension. Don't lose the control of that weight. Feel that bicep shortening as we pull it in. Last 2. Last 1. That Arnold shoulder press. Let's go for it. Find that 90-degree angle. Pausing in front of your face. Flip outside. Find your press. Elbows wide. Elbow comes in front of your face. Find your press. Back in. Last 3. Don't lose that control. Don't lose that lift of that elbow. 2. Ooh, so I know I'm doing it right because it's getting tough. Last 1. And bring it in. Ooh, last move of class. Let's do it. Hold that weight. Strong control. Give me that rotational twist. Slow resist to bring it down. Gotta lock in. Woo! Make sure I'm not swinging that spine. Keeping those arms out nice and long. 3 more. Slow it down even more. Last 2. Last 1. And we are done. Oh. Wow, that one was a killer. That's all I got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed this Pilates strength workout. I know I was feeling the burn. Hopefully you were feeling the burn. I'm already feeling the bicep pump. That was a great workout. I really enjoyed teaching it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. And I will catch you guys next time.